Tales of Mithrym.
Skeleton Crew, read by Lorenzo, Part 6, Ashore. The first mate was shouting orders in all directions as the three boats landed in the water and their teams took up oars. Ducky, Derville, and Elvin began to row, but soon found it hard to keep pace with the sailors beside them. By the time they were drawing up onto the sands, the sun was nearing the horizon, and long streams of sunlight cast far-reaching shadows from the trees up onto the hill in the centre of the island. They all jumped out and pulled the boats right up onto the beach. Then, at a call from the first mate, they gathered together. "Listen, all of you," he called. "We've not got long until sunset, and I don't want to be stuck here when the sun goes down. I wouldn't have any of you rowing out to sea after dark, and I don't fancy spending the night on this island, so pay attention. The cache is about 100 yards inland under a pile of palm leaves. Got it?" There was a murmur of agreement from the crew. "Right. You three," he pointed to three of the sailors. "Guard the boats. The rest of you, with me." They made their way up the beach and inland. The trees were tall, and Ducky felt very tempted to grab some fruit as they passed. Cries from the first mate to hurry up prevented him, although he growled somewhat under his breath. Right enough, though, the cache was exactly where the scouts had said. Beneath the leaves they found a small, naturally formed cave that led under the hill to a rough, round room in which aged boxes and barrels were piled. One box's lid lay beside it, doubtless opened by the scouts. Inside the box they saw bottles of wine and whiskey. Everyone cheered. 3 to a crate, they hauled out the wine, grain, and a few barrels of fish. Ducky hoisted one crate of rum up on his shoulder and heaved it out single-handedly. Derville and Elvin brought one barrel between the two of them. Making their way back down the hill, the sun was still visible, but its light was now a deep orange. Despite themselves, the crew all began to sing for joy as they approached the boats. "We'll row back with these now, lads," called the first mate. "Then we'll come back tomorrow for the rest." Shouts of joy erupted again, and the singing grew louder. Ducky was dancing along with the crate on his shoulder, enjoying the sound of the song. Suddenly, though, he stopped. He seemed almost to be sniffing at the air like a hound. With his free arm, he stopped Derville and Elvin, though the crew all continued on down to the boats. "Something's not right," he whispered. "What do you mean?" Elvin asked, letting the barrel drop and rubbing at his sore arms. Derville surveyed the beach. She watched as the crew began loading crates and barrels onto the boats. Then it struck her. Where are the guards? At that moment, several things happened. Ducky dropped his crate of bottles and spun round, pulling Derville and Elvin to the ground. All across the beach, dark, shadowy figures rose from the sand and drew swords on the sailors. The first mate, dropping his own package, pulled his wand from his belt and emptied the barrel onto their assailants. White, cold ice spread out from it and hit one squarely in the chest, sending them flying backwards. As he went to reload, though, 2 more leapt up and grabbed him by the arms as a third ran him through with a cut glass. Several more of the crew dropped to the ground, victims of the sudden and vicious attack. Some attempted to fight back with whatever they had, but were quickly dispatched or caught and bound up. "Pirates!" Elvin whispered as they lay on the ground and watched through the shrubs and brush. The attackers did indeed appear to be pirates. They were dressed in mismatched pieces of various naval uniforms and common clothes. Some were quite tattered, as if they had been well worn for quite some time in ambushes like this. Each assailant wore a scarf around their face and a hat low down on their heads so as to make their faces quite impossible to make out. Some fought with cutlasses and short swords, others with knives and daggers. One even seemed to have a harpoon. It was not long before the sailors were all either slain or taken captive. "What do we do now?" whispered Derville. "Back to the cave?" Ducky whispered back. Something in Elvin's mind clicked. This was a battle. He knew how to live on a battlefield. "No," he began. "That must be their trap. That must be how they lure people here. If we go back there, then they will only find us when they come to reset things." The pirates were leading the crew away. A handful, though, had been left behind to take the crates back. "Follow me," Elvin called to the others. He led them quietly up away from the path, and they watched as 6 or 7 pirates passed them on their way back to the cache. 3, 2, 1, now! Elvin counted and steered them round and back to the shore. Running hard towards the boat, he brought his fist up and punched the remaining pirate hard in the face. The figure crumpled down to the ground and lay there. "Push the boat!" he called. Ducky and Derville did so. It slid down the sands and into the water with a gentle clink from the few bottles still left aboard. They leapt in with an effort, and a cloud of sand and dust settled in with them as they hurriedly set oars to the rowlocks and rowed away to the ship. The sun dropped below the horizon. Darkness enveloped them. Everything around fell deathly silent.
Tales of Mithrym are written by Jimmy Clephane. Mithrym is a fantasy world built for the Dungeon Room role-playing game system. To find out more about the world of Mithrym, or to try out the game, go to www.mithrym.com.